very related to the construction sector. My company that I work in now, it works on sustainable transport planning. So this is looking at designing transport systems with minimal environmental impacts to make nice future transport systems for future generations. We work on consultancy and research projects. Really what I work on is, I look at how do you design transport systems? How do we design the systems that we want for the future? What do we want our cities to be like? And it's about thinking about, well, what are the transport situations going to be like in the future? Are we going to have self-driving cars that are moving around? And I mean, Google have self-driving cars now, and we examine what kind of things are coming in the future and also what impacts they're going to have. So are they going to take us in the right direction to having the system, the cities that we want in the future? I like working in this field a lot because you get to work with a lot of different people in a lot of different fields. So traditionally it's a civil engineering field, so it's about the physical infrastructure. But it's becoming more and more understanding the interaction between the physical infrastructure and what people actually do, how they actually act, what they need from their transport systems, what they need from their cities. So you work with a lot of different people from a lot of different fields. And I was asked to say, what do I dislike about this field? One of the irritating things would be that everybody has an opinion about transport systems. Every time you go and meet some new people, they're always going to tell you that they don't like trams in Lund or whatever it is. So, I mean, that could be a bit annoying, but it's also the positive side that you're doing something that people care about. So I studied at university mathematics, so I'm not a civil engineer like most people in my field. And I also studied transport, but kind of as an add-on when I started applying my mathematics in the transport field. At high school, I took the International Baccalaureate. So unlike in Sweden, you don't focus on a very specific topic. With the International Baccalaureate, you have a very broad range of subjects. And it's also available in Sweden in high school to do the International Baccalaureate in some schools. So I worked in the UK as a researcher, and from there I moved to Brussels because my partner got a job in Brussels, so I followed him and I got a job there in a European network, which was about exchanging, finding about what different cities in Europe did in the field of transport and getting money from the European Union, essentially. And from there I got a job as a consultant in private sector. And I would say that that's my career path that I'd sell to people who are going to give me a job. But I've also had a load of other small jobs along the way, which I've learned a lot in, but also to just make some money in between my studies and my first job, in between my first job and my second job, while I was a student, even before I was a student, so I've had a lot of other jobs. The thing that I am most passionate and interested in is environment and sustainability. And this is the thread through my career, which has helped me a lot get jobs because I'm a mathematician working in civil engineers fields. So it's a selling point that I have something that I'm very interested in. I would say that the network is very important for getting jobs. So for all of these jobs here, somebody has known somebody in the next job. Not always very well, but just knowing someone has made a difference. So that's so my old boss in Brussels, she knew my current boss a little bit, and they contacted each other to find out if I was a real person and to get the job here. Working in Sweden, I actually got a job in Sweden before my partner is Swedish, one of the reasons I moved here. And I got a job before him, so I moved here. I learned as much Swedish as I could before I moved to Sweden. And I'm working in a Swedish environment with pretty much 100% Swedish people. So it's pretty tough on the language front. My first few months, I would say it was really quite tough. it's very important to learn the language, and a good way to do it is to drop yourself in the deep end of the pool and just speak it. And I learned the importance of fika when I started. It was in the workplace, you go and you have coffee, and this is a very important part of the Swedish person's day in an office environment, to go and have fika. And it's supposed to be a relaxing time when you discuss what's going on. And I would say for the first 6 months of my job, I hated fika, because this was my most difficult part of the day. It was very loud, it was very difficult to understand what people were saying. They were talking about things on television, like I wasn't watching, like I had no idea what was going on. It was supposed to be the relaxing time of the day, and I had to drag myself there twice a day. And Swedish people, if you don't turn up at fika, you're strange. So you have to go. So I drag myself there. People are laughing now, they recognize it. So I would say that, importance of fika. Now, in my field, it's a very broad field, transport planning. The main basis of it is civil engineering. I think if you want to work in this field, that's the basic thing, best thing to study. But it's broadening, as I've said, along with understanding the physical environment, it's also understanding people. And so for doing my job in the future, it's the traditional studies, but also more about understanding people, communication, facilitation, like workshop management, and behavioral science. Really about this interaction between infrastructure and how people are using it, and also data analysis. This is something that I'm very interested in, being a mathematician from the beginning. There's a lot of data about and managing that. It's a big field that's coming up as well. From my experience, apart from Swedish, of course, for working in this field, you need a university education. You're not going to get a job as a transport planner without one. You need an interest in the field, because otherwise you're not going to get through it. And networking is extremely important. And as for some personal things that I found along the way, they sound like kind of the standard things, but I would say researching potential employers that you're looking for. I did a lot of research before I moved to Sweden about potential employers. I'm talking about details on their websites and checking out their social media pages and really understanding what they wanted and what they were working with, and designing my CV exactly for what they wanted is very important. If you study in the country, there's a possibility then to do a university project in companies, and I think that's a really good idea as a way to get your foot in the door. And also, it's about network. It's about meeting people. And informal meetings are a really good way to meet people. So if you can find someone in a cafe or something, or you can even call someone up in a company. You think this looks like an interesting company, and that I have something that I can offer there. You can call someone and talk to them. It's okay to do that. So that was it. That's the end of my presentation. So.